Multi-level marketing companies have the way of luring people in, such as flashing and flexing on social media profiles with loud advertisements, fast cars and expensive watches, and finally exclusive events in grand locations for the members. The goal of these events is to connect members, make them feel like they are a part of something bigger than themselves. Prove that there are limitless opportunities in this market, and make the company seem big, successful and rewarding. Those events all have the same recipe. They're filled with young people dressed up in cheap suits, listening to and watching cult-like team-building methods, blasting music, dancers, and of course there's always at least one motivational speaker. These speakers, if they're not marketers themselves, usually have nothing to do with MLM whatsoever. If anything, they do it for a paycheck. Is there anything wrong with them doing gigs for money? Absolutely not. We all have to make ends meet. What I do ask myself though is, do they need that specific paycheck if they're already making more than enough money? Are they aware of the business practices of the companies that hire them, and is it acceptable for them to lend their internationally well-known faces to MLM events? I mean, they're basically the headliners of the festival. Unfortunately, most of them know very well what they're advertising and even give interviews promoting multi-level marketing. Today, we're going to investigate this. Let's get into it. Motivational speakers. We all know them. We have all listened to at least one of their speeches, leaving us feeling greatly inspired to make a difference. They almost sound like preachers or cult leaders. The words are powerful and they know how to work the crowd. And they own the stage. When you listen to their great success stories, it is easy to think that you too can achieve anything and that you too are chosen. Telling inspirational stories is a huge part of their careers. I mean, quite frankly, most successful people have an interesting personal story. Not only self-made ones, not only ethical ones, all of them. As a matter of fact, people seem to love con artists who smoothly get away with everything they do, like in the movie Catch Me If You Can. Even though I am pretty sure that MLM marketers are not even close to as charming as Leo DiCaprio. Anyway, success sells. Everybody wants it and everybody wants to know how to achieve it. I know that success means something different to everybody. But despite generally despising the so-called upper class, most people want freedom. Well, in today's economy, freedom comes with financial independence. Again, this isn't necessarily easy to achieve. It takes several years, if not decades, not only a few months. At least if you really want it to last. Everyone has to start small and gradually make the way up to the top. And it is true. Everything starts with the first step, and if you take several calculated ones, you might end up being successful. The problem with that is, there are no guarantees in life, and especially not in business. It is hard even for experienced entrepreneurs to predict certain changes in the market. But you can't build a career upon sheer excitement and a rush of inspiration running through your head. It simply does not always come down to hard work and determination. There are many people who have given it their all, but still didn't make it. In the MLM world, success comes with scamming others. Whoever cares the least wins. And as a matter of fact, most people lose. You'll have to buy your way into a well-hidden pyramid scheme, scam tons of people, including your own friends and family, to then become the leader of a wolf pack of con men and women while telling yourself that you're doing the right thing. The moment you realize that, it is probably way too late. That is, if you even get this far. But are these motivational speakers responsible for people's successes or failures, or the partaking in an MLM company? And if so, how come? Motivational speakers have been around for many years. Some of them for as long as the period of the self-optimization trend in the 1980s. Some are celebrities or entrepreneurs or even influencers, whereas others are just regular people who have decided to do public speaking full-time. Literally anyone can become a motivational speaker. There isn't really that much to it, and there are no certificates or qualifications required to do any of that. All it takes is the confidence to speak in front of an audience and tell a story. So you can't really study this field at any educational institution. Don't get me wrong, degrees and titles aren't everything, But at the same time, I do start to wonder how these people are qualified to give such specific advice. I mean, yes, you can and should tell your story. And if it inspires someone, that is great. But they're getting on stage, lecturing people on topics like money, investment, career, what you need and don't need in your life, relationships, friendships, working out and more. Plus, they get into a lot of detail. Some of them even write books on how to save your marriage or how to invest money. Or even worse, some are handing out mental health advice without any medical or psychology degree, which honestly can be quite dangerous. Is that really the kind of person you should turn to when in dire straits? Vulnerable people turn to these motivational speakers in hopes of a happier life. I personally think that if you have real problems, a seminar or a book are the last thing on earth that you need. To be honest, I think what is needed is a therapist, an accountant, a relationship counselor, or simply a doctor. Not all problems can be fixed by some inspiring words. It is more of a quick fix, and maybe you get a boost of confidence from consuming this material every now and then. But this shouldn't be the main focus. They aren't experts at anything but public speaking. Additionally, there's another special kind of motivational speaker, one that works as an MLM marketer and becomes a motivational speaker simply because they did a lot of public speaking throughout their career and discovered this niche as another stream of income. There is a high potential to go viral when your face is constantly on social media and you already have a large following. Plus, it helps them sell other products, which they can advertise at the events and to their downline. Things like books, new seminars, or coaching programs. There are certain similarities between MLM events and motivational live seminars. These two niches seem to blend into each other seamlessly. So how are they related? Well, MLM events have the goal to motivate their employees. There's a stage, there are rewards, there are usually several different speakers like the CEO, the head of sales, etc. Thus, the natural habitat of a motivational speaker is already provided. Now it only makes sense to put a person in that spot who is known for something that represents the values that the company wants to communicate to their employees. For example, if it's a company for, let's say, financial services, they'd hire someone who talks about economic topics or anything money-making related. Someone that has an edge to them, maybe swears or has the overall F it's let's hustle vibe to them. If it's a company that sells clothes or beauty products, they might hire a woman who has the girl boss vibe, who works from home and manages a career and family successfully at the same time. You could say that these companies chose their speakers by demographic. It proves that what they care about most in this world is the paychecks. And why they lend their faces to MLM companies, the problem is that they're indirectly promoting sketchy business strategies. Back at it again, selling hopes and dreams to the most vulnerable people. Those who struggle financially, people who try their best for their young families, or who just started out in life and want to make it but don't know anything about business. What the speakers don't seem to realize is that their good reputation and their success makes it look like they have achieved this through MLM marketing strategies, when in reality they're paid to infuse hope into the attendees of their events, who are asked to reinvest that back into their respective MLM companies. Motivational speakers are hired by MLM companies to appear at their event. They advertise the event with that person so more people will be interested in attending that event. The speakers do their thing, take the money and leave. Most likely they have nothing to do with the business that you're in, and most definitely they do not care what the event is about. It is also unlikely that they got rich with an MLM, unless they already are marketers. What I still ask myself is, are the event guests aware that the speakers have nothing to do with the company that is hosting the event? Do they know that they are hired for a massive paycheck? We don't know that, but the hosts put a lot of effort into choosing the right person for the events, who cater the demanded message to the attendees. I mean, that's kind of smart. Who wouldn't go to a company event for 60 euros when there's someone famous like Tony Robbins or Rachel Hollis attending as a guest speaker, when their events usually cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars? They are still used as clickbait. This message is what motivational coaches or speakers are essentially selling. But is it logical though to spend money on books and seminars and events when you're broke? I don't think your financial advisor or entrepreneur would give you that piece of advice. Should you go out and seek advice from motivational speakers regarding your mental health? Again, I don't think a psychologist or a therapist would give you that piece of advice. And finally, should you turn to an MLM marketer when seeking financial independence, when their entire business education consists of 3 self-help books, a podcast about making money, and a movie about the law of attraction? I don't think anyone in their right mind would give you that advice. Of course, they want you to buy their programs, attend their seminars, and mindlessly consume self-help material when they get a chance to make money from it. If you need help with anything, find a professional, learn from the best and not the loudest. Well guys, this concludes today's video. Please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more MLM related content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.